30 years ago today, there were 100 veterans with shovels, and we were turning the earth in unison to build this monument. None of us really knew at the time how important this would be, but it's became a rather extraordinary place.
Well, 30 years ago, in my memory bank, we were running against the clock. Those forces that did not want the memorial to be constructed continued to be bound and determined to stop it. So we were anxiety-ridden trying to get the groundbreaking ceremony, which meant that would preempt a lot of other things that people were trying to do to stop the construction. We turned a great potential for failure into success.
Well, you know, for a lot of us who watched the debate around the beginnings of the Vietnam Memorial, it was a painful period because it reminded us of this terrible war which had divided American society. All of us lost bunches of friends and loved ones during the fighting. 58,000 dead, 300,000 wounded, 70,000 in Veterans Administration hospitals. And then we saw the continuation of this debate in Congress and in Washington over whether we should have a memorial. So, you know, Jan Scruggs' contributions and the many people that rallied around him, from political life and the military, and from the young people who had fought Vietnam, it was magnificent that we came together and found common ground to recognize sacrifice and valor and loyalty to the country that asked us to fight.
Let me read you some words. People make pilgrimage, which is what people do at the Vietnam Veterans Memorial, to be transformed intellectually and spiritually at a place of power. So this monument has been studied in its spiritual dimension and has been compared to places like the Western Wall in Jerusalem and Mecca in Saudi Arabia, Lourdes in France, places that people go to feel uplifted.
And behind me is the Vietnam Veterans Memorial. And that reminds me of the service of my older brother, Herman West Jr., who was wounded at Khe Sanh during a bombardment. And for some 3 or some odd days, there were tense moments before we got the notification letting us know that Herman had survived and that he would be coming home after he did his time in Okinawa to heal. And so that monument that is behind me connects me to my brother, and also to those who serve with him, who are also my warrior brothers.
When I was a kid, I came here and the mall was about our big, larger-than-life heroes. But now the mall, because of what you did, and what you did when you broke ground here 30 years ago, transformed the mall. Because the mall is now about all of our heroes, all of those who sacrificed, all those who served, and all those who are here. Because I will tell you, every tourist that comes here to see me in my office doesn't talk about going to the Lincoln Memorial. They talk about coming to the Vietnam Wall, the Korean Memorial, and the World War II Memorial. And your vision transformed it, and it's appropriate that we're here today honoring them, because I wouldn't be serving in the Capitol building, serving in a democratic way without them. So we thank you so much for those who sacrificed. We thank you for being here, and it is a thrill to me to be part of this, and I look forward to seeing the education project move forward.
The bottom line is this education center will connect those who were lost and their stories and their families and their experiences to the wall. And it'll also connect the other veterans of our other wars. You know, from the Revolutionary War up to the unbelievable heroism and sacrifice of our troops who still are fighting in Afghanistan, including, you know, I might add, till 4 nights ago when we got my son home, our own boy.
30 years later, look at the crowd that you have over there at the memorial, at the wall right now, and think about 30 years from now, the crowds that will be at the Education Center to really tell the story behind each and every one of those names and the experiences that they had. And then also to bridge that gap for the Iraq and Afghanistan veterans as well, because I think that's the most important thing, to not just come here and see those names on the wall, but really understand what was their service about, what was their sacrifice about. Put pictures and faces to those names and those experiences. I think that's the great part that's going to happen.
Today is yesterday's tomorrow. Today we accept the challenge to build the Education Center. We need that. I'm proud to have been a part of yesterday's construction of this memorial, and I won't stop until we finish it with the Education Center. I hope all of you will join me and all of those around the nation to help get this done. We owe it to our children. We got to bridge the gap from then to now.